Okay. All right. Well, time to feed these Ayaneo fans. Hmm? Yeah, I got some news for you. Oh yeah. Hello, people. Another beautiful day or night. Yep. Hope your flop says his word. Health and strength is good or excellent. But what's up, Ayaneo fans? Oh, I got some news for you. Oh yeah. You know the Ayaneo, the 1X, the GPD, the Oxo, Odin, Logitech, MSI Claw, Lenovo Legion Go, Asus ROG Steam Deck, yeah. And of course the Orange Pi, whenever that thing comes out. But right now it's Ayaneo, so the good thing about these portable gaming PC handhelds, they give you choices. They come in different form factors, different sizes, with their own specs. So yeah, and they're meant to play video games on the go. So you don't have to. I mean, PC gamers now have three options. They can do it the portable PC way, which is the handhelds, the laptop, or desktops. Yeah, you guys are good. Anyway, what I got for you? Listen to this. It says here, Ayaneo Pocket S is here. A new flagship Android gaming handheld with Snapdragon G3X Gen 2 chip. Mm-hmm. Says the Ayaneo Pocket S is a high-end flagship Android handheld powered by the new Snapdragon Gen 3, GX3, G3X Gen 2 gaming platform, and it's available to purchase. But now the question is this: do you have the funds to get it? Anyway, says here, Ayaneo Pocket S has launched. It's a new flagship Android gaming handheld that is slim, sleek, and powered by the Snapdragon G3X Gen 2 gaming platform. The physical design and the form factors are more a smartphone than PC gaming handheld, with the Ayaneo Pocket S sporting a thin 14 millimeter body with a lightweight 350-gram build. And it says it's a low-power device too, with its long-lasting 6,000 mAh battery, powering the Snapdragon G3X Gen 2's efficient 15-watt gaming performance. Although thin, there is an active cooling system here, which makes sense when the GPU is clocked at 1 gigahertz and the 8-core Cairo CPU reach up to 3.36 gigahertz. Throw in a 16 gig of memory and a 1 terabyte of storage, and it's an impressive unit. Ayaneo claimed that it outperforms pretty much any Android gaming handheld or gaming phone. Well, not unless Android got some, not unless the competition got something to say about it. Says the Ayaneo Pocket S is available in two flavors. One with a 6-inch 1440p, meaning 1440 pixels P screen that will begin ship in May 2024, and 1080p edition that will ship at the end of June 2024. And it says here coverage. Let's see if I get this here. Both screens features impressive specs like 400 nits of brightness and 100% sRGB color gamut coverage. The 1440p and 1080p models are available for purchase in various memory and storage configurations via the Ayaneo Pocket S Indigo page, which offers substantial early bird discounts. Here's the pricing for the Ayaneo Pocket S 1440p Advantage. And then for the early bird price $439, $529, $589, $659. The IG retail price $519, $609, $669, $749. And the official price $589, $699, $759, and $799. Says here, and here's the pricing for the Ayaneo Pocket S1080p edition. Early bird $399, $499, $559, $629. And then the IGG retail price is $479, $579, $639, $719. And then for the official retail price, $559, $669, $729, $760. Wait a minute, $559, $669, $729, and $769. Keep saying six. Says here, the handheld will also introduce a significantly upgrade. No, the handheld will also introduce significantly updated upgrades, customizable AYA home software interface designed for Android. The gaming-oriented AYA Space app is also getting new retro gaming and emulation features to provide users with a robust library to access classic games. And that is that. Now, the question is this handheld for you? And do you have the funds for it? Do you need it now, or do you plan on getting it later? So, Ayaneo just created a new Android handheld, and they're claiming that it's more powerful than all the Android phones out there. But we all know, let's see, who should I think of? Samsung might have something to say about that. So, but they might come out with a new phone that can rival it. But this is to play games on the go. So, yeah. And they come in different price, different form factors, and different prices. And yeah. See if I can click this picture here and get a better view. Okay, so the Pocket S 1080p. See, $399 for 12 gigs, 12 gigabyte, 128 gigs, $499 for 16 gigabyte, 512 gigabyte. That's 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. $559 for 16 gigs, 1 terabyte, and then $629 for the unmarked edition. $629 for 16 gigs, 1 terabyte. And then for the IG retail, $479 for 12 gigs and 128 gigs of storage. $579 for 16 gigs, 500 and 12 gigs of storage, solid state. $639 for 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte. And then for $719, that's $719. The unmarked edition, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte. And then the official retail price is 12 gigabyte, 128 gigs of storage. And then for $669, the 16 gigs of RAM is 512 gigabyte. And then for $729, there's 16 gigs and 1 terabyte. And then for $769, for the unmarked editions, it's 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte. And that's for the 1080p edition. Yeah. So you guys got some choices. Yeah. Let's see if I can get the 1440p one. Okay, now for the 1440p, the early bird price is $439 for 12 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. $529 for 16 gigs and 512 gigabytes of storage SSD. $589 for 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte, and $659 the unmarked edition for 16 gig of RAM, 1 terabyte. And that's the early bird special for the 1440p. Now, for the IGG retail price, $509 gives you 12 gigs of storage, and that's memory, 12 gigs of RAM, and 128 gigs of storage for $509. Then for 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigabyte, that's for $609. And for the 669, that's 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte. And then for $749, the unmarked edition, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 TB. Now for the official retail price, $589 gives you 12 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. $699 gives you 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigabyte. That's 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. And then $759 gives you 16 gigs of RAM, 1 TB. And then for $799, the unmarked edition, you get 16 gigs of RAM, 1 TB. So yeah, and those are your prices. And those are your prices for your 1440p and 1080p. There. So you guys are good. But anyway, those are the prices for these handhelds. And they're claiming that it's more powerful than any Android phone that's out there, but the competition will have something to say about that. You know they're gonna build something better than this. So I'll keep you guys posted on that when they do. But for right now, Ayaneo just stepped their game up in the tech world. So yeah. So you Ayaneo fans, if this is for you, don't have to be in a rush to get it, but get it when you feel like it. And see what they got else here. Snapdragon G3X Gen 2 gaming platform. Andriod 832 CPU with up to 1 GHz clock frequency. 1 GHz 600. Okay. GX3 Gen 2 1 GHz. Phone processor 680 MHz. Okay. New high-end design language. Large area VC thermal plate plus active cooling system. And then master controller. And then you have 6 1440p borderless linear screen. And unmanageable, thin and light. Then you have a multi-scenario performance mode switching, and then you have up to 16 gigs of RAM, 1 TB, and then you have 3 mode of comprehensive vibration, and then you have support for mobile game key mapping to a physical controller, and then it says Aya space management front end plus Aya home desktop launcher. There. So that should hold you for a little bit. But anyway, this is the new mobile handheld from Ayaneo. Yeah. For you Ayaneo fan, you got some new toys to play with. 1440p and 1080p at different prices. So there. Enjoy. Anyway, that's all the news I got to report on this. Hope you enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars Star Trek 9 Dark Side. Go. Peace.